Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 4th, 2025, and La Liga have announced that they will appeal the CSD ruling to maintain the registrations of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Also, Laporta has spoken about the CSD's ruling. And finally, Arsenal have met with Nico Williams' representatives. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I'm bringing you this short live because I'm still out of the country. I'm not home. I'm not in my YouTube studio, so I cannot film, edit, and upload videos. So instead, I'm doing these shorts every day, or these short lives, not shorts, every day to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news. This is not a podcast, so unfortunately, I will not be addressing the comment section. However, I will be back home on Sunday. So Sunday, I will be back to my regularly scheduled videos and, of course, regularly scheduled podcasts, which are my favorite days of the week because I get to interact with you lovely people in the comment section. Anyways, having said all that, let's dive right into the news because, ladies and gentlemen, La Liga have announced that they will appeal the CSD's ruling when it comes to the Dani Olmo and Pau Victor case. Now, as you know by now, as I reported in yesterday's video, the CSD issued a favorable ruling for Barcelona, stating that La Liga did not have the authority to cancel the licenses of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor back on December 31st. And as such, the decision to do so was nullified. And that means that Pau Victor and Dani Olmo will remain registered until the end of the season, which is, of course, a huge victory for Barcelona that had to go all the way to court to get this decision because they, of course, sold their rights to the VIP seats for 100 million euros to be able to register Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. They submitted the paperwork before the deadline of December 31st. La Liga said, no, we want proof of payment. Then Barcelona submitted the proof of payment, but La Liga said it was too late by then because it was already January 3rd, so decided to cancel the registrations of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. And, of course, Barcelona went to court to CSD. CSD have agreed with Barcelona, and both players will remain registered. Now, today, La Liga announced that they will be appealing this decision by the CSD to the administrative court. Now, what is La Liga arguing here? They're arguing that the actions that they took in regards to Dani Olmo and Pau Victor were appropriate and based on the application of players' registration rules. In other words, they didn't do anything wrong. They simply followed the rules of the financial fair play, applied them correctly, and that's why the licenses of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor were not valid anymore. Also, La Liga are arguing that the CSD does not have jurisdiction over the extension or cancellation of any player's licenses, and that strictly falls under the authority of La Liga. Also, La Liga criticized in their statement the speed of which the CSD issued the precautionary measures to the players. As you recall, when Barcelona filed the lawsuit, CSD immediately issued precautionary measures saying, hey, we're going to read the arguments. We're going to think about this. We're going to come up with a decision. In the meantime, both players will be registered temporarily. So La Liga criticized that, how fast that was done, saying that it violated the principles of due process. And finally, La Liga are saying that the licenses of Pau Victor and Dani Olmo did not expired. They were not canceled. They simply expired. They were set to expire on December 31st. They expired on their own. They were not canceled, and the cancellation was not necessary. Now, I gotta say, Javier Tebas, my boy, what are you doing, bro? You lost the case. Lick your wounds, move on, figure out a different way to screw over Barcelona because I'm sure you're gonna do that, right? That's all you'll be doing. You're the president of La Liga. You oversee 42 clubs, 20 in the first division, 22 in second division, but somehow, some way, your entire day is taken up by you trying to figure out ways to screw over Barcelona. So, dude, you lost this. You lost the battle, right? Figure out another way to screw Barcelona over. Just move on. But I do have to say this. Now, as a lawyer, By no means I'm an expert in sports law in Spain or La Liga sports laws. But the last point that La Liga made does worry me because La Liga are saying that the licenses of Olmo and Pau Victor were not canceled, that they simply expired. And that's a problem because the CSD, when they issued the ruling, they said that La Liga did not have the power or the authority to cancel those licenses. As such, the players should remain registered. But La Liga are saying they were not canceled. They simply expired. And that is true because both players were registered temporarily under the in place of Christensen, who had been injured. And those licenses were set to expire on December 31st. They did, so they were not canceled. So that does worry me a little bit. Again, I'm not an expert in sports law in Spain, but that point does worry me. I know as a lawyer, I would definitely make that argument in court if I was doing this case. So hopefully this doesn't go anywhere, but I have to say I am a little bit worried. But again, this just goes to show that when you do things the wrong way, there's always repercussions. And when I mean do things the wrong way is how Laporta and his board handled the registration of these two players from the beginning, since those players were signed in the summer. But yet, people want to say, oh, I'm getting paid to criticize Laporta. Look for yourself. Look at what we're having to deal with because things were not done the right way. Which, by the way, it's funny because a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, when I used to make videos supporting Laporta, people used to say I was getting paid by Laporta. Now they're saying I'm getting paid to criticize Laporta. My question is to these people is, where the hell is this money that I'm getting paid? Because I got some bills to pay. I would love to know where this money is because I could use it, to be honest. But anyways, people will say anything because they cannot fathom that there's other opinions out there that are different than them. And instead of coming up with counter arguments, it's easier to just dismiss it. Oh, you're getting paid by it, or you're a hater. Anyways, now Joan Laporta did speak out about the CSD ruling, and he said the following. Starting with, he discussed what was it like for the players when it was first announced that the registration of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor had been canceled, and this is what the Barcelona president had to say. Of course, we were worried. When that news came out before the match, we know how things work, and these attempts to destabilize the team don't surprise us. Fortunately, the players remained strong and understood that there was no reason to be alarmed, since the registration of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor was carried out correctly, and we followed all the Federation and La Liga requirements. We know they can't beat us on the field. They try to do it in the offices, but that's not going to affect us. So that's the statements of Joan Laporta in regards to the CSD ruling. He was also asked separately, what did he think about the team's possibility of winning the Treble or winning trophies during the season? And this is what the Barcelona president had to say. Why does it keep doing it? I needed to do this. There we go. We're having a very intense season, and the opportunity to achieve great things is within the reach. The first thing I like is enjoying our coach's work and how the team is performing. The team is really hungry, and with the success we're having, they're dreaming of the Treble. So Laporta is saying that the players are dreaming of winning the Treble, and honestly, for the first time in a very, very long time, I think we do have a shot at winning the Treble. I think Barcelona are favorites in any competition because we've seen that this team is the best team in Europe. But of course, being favorites doesn't mean that you automatically going to win these competitions. Favorite teams lose all the time. Liverpool were favorites to win the Champions League. Look at them. They got knocked out in the round of 16. So yes, we are favorites in all competitions. We are favorite no matter who we play against, where we play, and which competition. But nonetheless, the team is still going to have to put in the work because just because you're favorite, the trophies are not going to land in your lap. You still got to remain humble. Yes, you still have to put in the work on the training field. You still have to put in the work on the playing field, and of course, all around the clock, nutrition, sleeping, etc. But nonetheless, I do have hopes that this team could win a Treble. Now, it's a tall order because Trebles are incredibly difficult to win, but nonetheless, we do have a shot. We're still alive in all three competition. Now, speaking of competition, of course, we do have the match tomorrow against Real Betis, and the team did train today, started preparation for the match against Real Betis on Sunday or Saturday? Saturday. Sorry, the time difference has completely thrown me off. But the good news is that Gabi trained with total normalcy, and that's, of course, good news. As you know, as I reported in yesterday's video, Gabi did not play against Atletico Madrid because during the warm-up, he felt discomfort in his right knee, which is the knee that he got a surgery on. So, of course, the medical doctors immediately said, okay, you're not playing. We're not going to risk it. But today he trained with total normalcy. So that's good. That's a good sign. And it means that, Gabi is fine and most likely could play against Real Betis. And another player that looks like he's going to be receiving the green light is Andreas Christensen. Andreas Christensen, who has been recovering from his third injury this season, injuries that have seen him out that entire season, is expected to receive the green light ahead of the match against Real Betis. Of course, it doesn't mean that he's going to play, but he will be fit. And that's, of course, also great news because this is the final stretch of the season. We have plenty of matches in 3 competitions, so we need all of our players healthy to give Hansi Flick plenty of options to rotate. Now, the last bit of news is in regards to Nico Williams, because it's been revealed that Arsenal have met with the player's agent. Now, there were 2 big teams who were competing against Barcelona for Nico Williams. The first one was Bayern Munich, who have withdrawn from the race because now they have decided that they're going to spend all their energy, resources, and efforts to try to sign Florian Wirtz. And the other team was Arsenal, which Nico Williams had said, thank you, but no thank you. I don't want to go there. But now Arsenal have a new sporting director. And this sporting director has put Nico Williams at the top of his list. And it's reported that he has already met with the agent of Nico Williams, where Arsenal sporting director made it very clear to Nico Williams' agent, hey, we're very interested in you. Any discussions that you might have had with the previous sporting director, forget about it. They're out the window. This is a new person you're dealing with. You are top priority. And we're letting you know that we're coming for you in the summer. Now, it is reported that Nico Williams prefers to stay in Spain. So, of course, that is a good that is a good plus in Barcelona's column. But nonetheless, just know that Arsenal are back in the race, and they're very, very serious about signing Nico Williams. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. I will be making more videos tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to go to sleep. It's pretty late here. It's midnight here in Japan. So I'm going to go to sleep. I'll make more videos tomorrow, so stay tuned to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always, peace God.